So the summer 2024 transfer window is set to close today as I record this, the 30th of August. But with that in mind, I wanted to take a look back at which were the best football transfers of all time, in my opinion. Now, of course, there are so many to choose from. There are hundreds, there are thousands of them. There are thousands of them every transfer window. But which ones over the years are the best, in my opinion, for their impact on the club? It might be a bargain buy, it might be someone who costs a lot of money but still managed to deliver on the highest stage. Here are my picks for the best transfers in football of all time. And I'm going to start with one that cost absolutely nothing. It was a free transfer from Borussia Dortmund to Bayern Munich. Now, which one am I talking about? Because there's a lot of them. Of course, though, it is Robert Lewandowski. When he transferred to Bayern Munich in the summer of 2014, I don't think anybody could have expected how good this guy was. I mean, he was already an incredible player for Borussia Dortmund, scoring well over 20 goals a season every season he was there for the previous 3 seasons. But when he went to Bayern Munich, he was an absolute monster. He transformed that side into becoming the dominant force in German football. I mean, they already won the league title a few times before that, but with Lewandowski, they were untouchable. And you look at his output for a striker in that time, he scored nearly a goal a game. He scored 344 goals in 375 games. He was unbelievable for them, winning the top scorer in the Bundesliga more often than not. And had the 2019-20 Ballon d'Or not been cancelled due to the pandemic, I firmly believe that he would have won that year's Ballon d'Or. But as it was, it's very much an if, but, and a maybe. But 55 goals during that season in 47 games to win Bayern Munich the Champions League and the Bundesliga that campaign. Yeah, world class. One of the best signs of all time, without a doubt there. Next up, I've got Cristiano Ronaldo to Real Madrid. And I've put this as one of the best transfers of all time because simply, even though he was a world record fee at the time at £80 million, there's no doubt that he delivered. He became the all-time top goal scorer of Real Madrid. I mean, you think about some of the world-class players they've had over the decades, the most successful team in European football history. He was one of the key players in them getting back to winning the Champions League for the first time in over a decade. Their La Decima, their 10th Champions League title in 13-14, wasn't it? I mean, just over a goal a game. I mean, I said about Lewandowski getting almost a goal a game. Ronaldo got over a goal a game for Real Madrid. 450 goals in 438 appearances. And he's not even a striker. He wasn't even a striker at that time, he was a winger. But he just absolutely obliterated the scoring record for Real Madrid. And also, I mean, if it wasn't for Lionel Messi, he would have won the Pichichi every single season pretty much. He was absolutely world class, one of the best signs of all time without a doubt. And he actually got sold on for a profit. Juventus bought him for more than £80 million when it was time to move on in 2018. Next up, it's a bit of a cop-out in a sense, you might say, this one, but I'm highlighting 3 signings for Leicester City back in the day, at different times, at different amounts and everything like that, different stages of Leicester City's kind of rise. But Riyad Mahrez for £500,000, N'Golo Kante for £5 million, and Jamie Vardy for just £1 million. I got to highlight them all because they were all instrumental in that title win for Leicester City, the most unlikely football title win in the modern era, without a doubt. We'll never see anything like that ever again, I don't think, in the Premier League with the money that's flowing in there now. But they were just unbelievable. Kante's work rate was just off the charts, and he's still doing it to this day for Chelsea. Vardy was banging in goals like it was no one's business, and he's still scoring for Leicester to this day. And Riyad Mahrez as well, he was absolutely world class. I mean, when he went to Man City, he continued that as well, winning the Premier League with them several times as well. So I've got to highlight all of those 3, some of the most bargain, incredible signings of all time in football, without a doubt. Also a bargain was the signing of King Eric himself, Eric Cantona for Manchester United. Just £1 million from their bitter rivals Leeds United. Oh boy, I mean, he did perform for Leeds, to be fair, but he was trouble off the pitch, and Sir Alex ended up taking a chance on him, and it absolutely paid off. He was instrumental in that first title win in 1993, and from there he really kicked kicked on, became an icon of the club, became an icon of the Premier League during its early days as well. Won many league titles with Man United. I think it was 4 league titles in the end for him, and retired, in my opinion, he retired too young, but he bowed out on a high. There's no doubt about that. He bowed out on an absolute high, did King Eric. The last one I am going to highlight as well, I've got to mention Henrik Larsson to Celtic. He cost just £650,000 from Feyenoord. I mean, even back in the day when this was taking place, that was still not a lot of money back in 1997. It is very much a bargain buy, less than what King Eric went to Manchester United for. But his goal scoring record in the Scottish Premier League, and by the way, back then the Scottish Premier League was a proper league. Like, it's not like it is today where it is a million miles behind the English Premier League. Back then it was a good league. Like, I mean, yeah, Rangers and Celtic were the standout teams, of course, but it was at a much higher standard than it is today. I mean, 53 goals in 50 appearances in 2000-2001, 38 goals in 1999, 44 in 2003, 41 in 2004. He wasn't quite getting to a goal a game, but not far off it in some of them seasons, and above it in some of those seasons as well. Unbelievable striker and an absolute bargain buy. But yeah, those are 7 of my top signings in football of all time, brought to you in 5 different segments there. What's your most impressive football transfer of all time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, keep subscribed, follow, like, share, and ring the bell as well to see much more football videos here on thefootballchronicle.com.